Hello and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. I don't actually know if I am live or not because as you can probably tell from the screen, I've got new software that I set up yesterday and I can't actually tell whether it's working or not, and I think I just messed something up. So I might be live on YouTube and Facebook, or I might be live none of those places. Aha, hello Charlene, I am live on YouTube. Hurrah, I've done it. Brilliant. So I think I'm live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Get me being all technical. I have sorted this thing out. So it's this new software called Prism that I found that's free, and it means that, look, I can put my cards over here so you can see them on the screen, and I've got chat on the screen, and I've got a little thing at the bottom, and it's all free, and I can do it simultaneously. So it was yeah, I think I messed up, didn't I? I shared the stream and then went onto it, accidentally turned it off, and had to quickly make another one. Thank you, Charlene, for resharing that. That's really kind of you. I'll have to work out how to get it working smoothly. But yeah, I'm really excited. I've been really excited about doing this all morning with the new platform thing. Like, look at me, you think I was Mr. Beast. Like, I have 250 followers and I'm making an acceptance speech like I'm at the Oscars here. Right. Anyway, thank you for being here. And if you're a subscriber, then get ready to put your questions in the chat if you would like. We shall start with a little astrological overview and then a collective reading, and then we can do the 12 card reading. Right, so today for our astrology, we have got, I think we're on with the moon, so it's going to enter Aries and then conjoin with Neptune. Neptune's in Aries. So it's going to be a bit of a confusing time, and that kind of alignment can make you feel rather over emotional. So the advice would be to just be careful about making decisions. Don't jump into anything because you might be feeling over emotional today. Hi Kazabet. Yeah, I did. I pressed the wrong button because I've got my new Prism software working and it's all for free and I'm excited. So yeah, but it's working now and I can see people in the chat and I'm massively excited now. So yeah, astrology, it's going to be, and this is just true, isn't it? It's saying that I'm saying you're going to be over emotional, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I am over emotional about my new Prism software and my new little script that goes along the bottom. And there's Gavin. He is the person that found Prism for me. So thank you very much, Gavin, for doing that. That's fantastic. So, and I've also got a new microphone coming, so hopefully that will sort out the sound issue as well. So, as I said, I think I'm Mr. Beast now because I've got 250 followers. 273 actually. Right, all right, so let's do the collective reading. Now I'm going to have to get used to putting the cards over here. Collective reading. Let's give these a better shuffle. Right, let's see if I get these in the right place. Right, they're really interesting cards, aren't they, for a collective reading? So we've got the Devil. Can you even see those? Sort of. So you've got the Devil. I'm going to hold them up anyway. The Three of Swords and the Hanged Man. So these cards talk about the devil is like oppression and being chained to something that no longer serves you. It can also be addiction. When it's coming out with the Three of Swords, I'm seeing this would be interpreted as trauma bonding, you know, like when you're with somebody because you've been through trauma and you're just sitting there going through it with them. So I'm feeling that we've got an issue here with trauma bonding. And then the third card that came out is the Hanged Man reversed. So what this is actually saying is, I mean, this is quite literal here. The Hanged Man reversed is like, stop hanging around. If you're trauma bonded with somebody, no good can come of it. Now, this is really weird because I'm moving my hand that way and everything's gone the wrong way. So if you are trauma bonded with somebody, then you have to stop hanging around. The time for just doing nothing, as the Hanged Man does, because he's just hanging there, that time is over, and it's time to leave this trauma bond behind, because the Devil is a card that speaks of oppression, and it's being tied to something, and it's also often chains of your own making. So it's like nothing is holding you there apart from yourself, and nothing's keeping you there. There's no reason why you can't leave this broken relationship, and it is broken. The only thing holding you there is yourself, and it's a trauma bond. So stop hanging around and being the Hanged Man, and off ski. Okay, so that's the advice from the collective reading. So now for the real test, 'cause I'm going to have to fit 12 cards over there in that little screen. And I'm trying to read this chat, because I've got the chat on the right hand side here as well, and I can't actually see it on my screen. I don't know if can you read it on the actual screen? Is it appearing on the screen? Right, let's give these a good shuffle this morning. I am so excited about this new software. You can't believe it. I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get to use that. I'm so excited. So little things, please, little minds. Wait till I get the new microphone set up and I'll be no stopping me. Right, let us do this. Okay, so let's try to get this in the right place. So this is what I've been doing every morning that you can't see normally, and now you can see it, hopefully. But I've got to get them in the right place because the camera angle isn't very wide. Right, okay then, let us start with number one. Number one, you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So the Queen of Pentacles reversed, again, that really fits in with the it fits in with the I'm getting really distracted by reading all the chat and everything going on here. It's going to take me a while to get used to all the flashy things and the things going past. This fits in with the collective reading. The Queen of Pentacles reverse can be a little bit of a trauma bond, a little bit of dependence on somebody. So the advice of this card is to stand on your own 2 feet, because the Queen is very, very capable. The Queen of Pentacles is grounded. She's practical. She knows how to get things done. Okay, so if this is you, this is a tap on the shoulder from Spirit, and you're being told that you are able to take on board things yourself. You're able to make your own decisions. You're able to make your own way. You are the sovereign queen of what's going on in your life. So try to get yourself out of this position of feeling weak and feeling like you're depending on somebody else. This card can also come up if you're sort of neglecting duties. So if you're putting things off and sort of brushing them under the carpet, or burying your head in the sand and thinking, yeah, I'll go back to that at another time. I can't cope with that at the minute. Well, the Queen says, oh yes you can, and yes you must cope with that. And it's basically, this Queen comes to tell you that, she's a bit of a hard taskmaster, and it's like being told, come on, pick yourself up, get on with it. You can do this. You are strong. You have done this before, and you'll do it again. And I'm reading the chat again. Oh, you're talking about screen colours. Is everything a different colour? Looks so exciting. Oh gosh. Right, so that's my number one card this morning. Number two card. Number two. Look at that, will you? We've got 2 queens together. So we had a Queen of Pentacles. Now, right next to it, we've got a Queen of Swords. But this queen is the right way up. She's in the positive aspect. Now, the Queen of Swords is all about somebody who's all out for truth and justice. and she is ready to cut away with her mighty sword, cut away any cords that are tying you to the past. She's ready to cut through the confusion. I'm Kaza, I'm reading you saying do not read the chat. Do not read. Oh, wait, mustn't read the chat. So now I've lost my place again. Right, I must not read the chat. I will take Kaza's advice there, not read the chat at all. Right, so the Queen is cutting, the Queen of Swords is cutting through the confusion. She's getting rid of anything that no longer serves you. So if this is you, it's an invitation to cut cords with the past. It's an invitation to leave what's hurting your heart behind, leave conflict behind, leave things that are just not any good for you anymore, leave them behind, cut them away, take the sword from the Queen of Swords and cut those cords. She's also a justice seeker. So she's also a card that comes out if you are in the pursuit of justice and you're trying to put right some wrongs. With this card coming out, it's very well aspected that justice will prevail. It's like a card of truth. So this could be you, but of course, with it being a one card reading, it could just as well be a person that you encounter today. So perhaps you're going to come across somebody who is a feminine energy and a truth seeker, and somebody who you can rely on to help you put the past to sleep or put it to bed. Now I'm interested as well that we've got two queens coming out here together as well. So I'm not going to say, yeah, that's relevant, because I'm not entirely sure, but it's sort of speaks to me when you get two queens coming out together, because I've been on about how these 12 cards, they keep sort of having ties with each other, feels like they're associating. So we've got two queens together, one reversed pentacles and one upright swords. So could that be, remember I said the Queen of Pentacles is like, are you depending on somebody else? You need to be more dependent. Are these cards saying, okay, Queen of Swords, you need to cut the ties with this past that you're relying on, Queen of Pentacles, in order to move forward? So it's an interesting combination of two cards there, but you can read them separately as well. So let's go straight to, let's have number 6, I think. All right, so Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is about success, skill, and recognition. So this says that if you are at work, you're likely to be recognized for something that you've done. It talks about promotion. It talks about being given pay rises. Talks about somebody just realizing that you're being very successful in your career, and it might well be time to move on to a different sort of progress. And if you can see on the illustration for this card, these two guys are sort of chatting away about this bloke who is he's a stonemason. So there's stonemasons in the tarot, but they're like sort of discussing whether or not he's good enough for a promotion, and he is. So if you are trying to progress your skills, or trying to do better at work, or after a promotion, or just trying to do things better, then this card is saying that, yeah, this is a pat on the back, and it's time for you to put yourself forward. Either literally put yourself forward for that promotion, or metaphorically be ready to step forward into your truth. Be ready to be your authentic self, and to use the skills that you've accumulated in your life. Because even though sometimes we think, gosh, I'm all these decades old, and what have I really learned in life? Well, the fact is, you've actually learned a ton of stuff. You have a ton of life skills, at least, and that's like just life skills. All the things that you've picked up, all the things at work, all the things that you've learned right the way from the start of your education, right the way through the university of life. Everything that you've learned is there, and it's ready to expand. So when you see this card, the Three of Pentacles, it's saying step forward and be confident that your skills can carry you, because you carry a lot of knowledge and ability. So be confident in your skills. Number 5. Ooh, number 5, you've got the Tower. One of my favorite cards of the tarot deck. So the Tower is saying to you, right, there's something in your life that you're going to have to knock right the way down to its foundations. And if you look at the Tower, the card is the tower's on fire, and it's like it crumbles to the ground, and the sort of people jumping out of it and all sorts of things. But what it symbolizes is that there is an event which could feel like, it can feel like a crisis to you, but the fact of the matter is this concerns something that always needed razed to the ground. So it's like something you've been maybe trying to fix, or something that you've just been letting go. Um, you're going to need to knock it down to the ground and rebuild from the ground up, because sometimes when you don't go down the foundations, you're never going to get that building right. So you're never going to be able to build that tower again in the same way. Now, this is a major arcana card, and it's a card of massive change, as you'd imagine when a tower falls to the ground and it's rebuilt. Of course, it's massive change. But what it means when it comes to your life is that when you have a tower event, there is nothing the same after the tower as it was before the tower. So it's like a life-changing event. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be negative. It's like it just means that it's had to be rebuilt. It's had to be changed. It's had to be built from the ground up and built stronger. Think about the three little pigs and the house of straw and the house of sticks, was it? Sticks, straw, sticks, and bricks. Bricks is the way forward for your tower. So once you've knocked it all down, cleared out the dead wood, got rid of the straws and the sticks, it's time to pick up the bricks and then to rebuild and to start from the ground up and to build something new for yourself and your loved ones. Okay, so it's a really, really good card. It's a cathartic card. It's saying goodbye to everything that doesn't serve you and starting again. Number four. So you've got the Page of Wands reversed. So the Page of Wands can mean reversed. He can be a bit of a, it's like stagnation. It's like you've been waiting for information and it's not coming to you, and it's not it feels like it's stuck. It feels like your any news that you've been waiting for isn't going to be forthcoming today. It feels like you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Now, pages are often about messages, they're about information coming to you. And with this card being reversed, this is why I'm saying it feels like this information isn't coming to you, or it's going to come to you and it's going to not be what you really wanted to hear. But the true energy of the page, remember when a card is reversed, we're talking about a blockage of the true energy. So it's like this inspiration, because the Page of Wands is an inspirational, creative person filled with energy. So it's still coming to you. It's just like it has been delayed. So bide your time if you chose this card, or if you're resonating with the description of this card. Bide your time. Try not to push for this today. Try not to chase for this information. This isn't the day to sort of do you know, it's like it's a Friday thing as well, isn't it? Because like if I've been in the past like waiting to hear about a job or something, and it comes to Friday, or at the minute I'm waiting to hear from somebody I'm illustrating for, and I've been waiting to hear from them for a while, and I'm thinking, do you know, do I contact them today? Do I say, like, what's going on? I haven't heard from you for a while. Here I'm turning it into a me train again, but I'm trying to just describe how I see it. But it's like, no, don't do it today. Use that Friday feeling of just sitting back and thinking, yeah, we'll just leave that on the simmer. We won't just push it. We won't phone anybody and ask them what's going on or try to push things forward. Just let it lie for a while and wait for that energy to right itself. Because sometimes when you try to push back on an energy like this, you get that opposition. So I feel that sometimes you get like, you know, when if somebody's dithering about whether or not, say if it was a job and they're dithering about whether they're going to give you the job, and like you phone up and hassle them, they're like, no, just because you've actually put them on the spot. So that sort of energy, let's let it lie, let's not push, let's let the Page of Wands right himself and come back to his full energy, and then you can move forward with whatever that project is. Number 3. Look at the way I can see my cards on the screen. I'm so excited. What this means as well, one of the reasons why I put these on the screen, excuse me, is that After I've done this, I always spend like about 20 minutes putting timestamps in the description so people can go to the description when they're watching the recording and just click on the timestamp and go directly to that card. And I had to do that because when I first started doing it, I was just filming my hands, so people would like fast forward to the card by looking at my hands. But then when you couldn't see my hands, people asked for timestamps, but it takes so long to do. So now I've got this little section over here. Look how my hands go there, and then they're there. Isn't that weird? Now I've got this bit here. I don't have to do the timestamps, which is marvelous. And look, I still can't get over that. How mad is that? Right, number three. Number three, I love this card. Number three, this is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a great card. Have a look at the illustration on that. Can you see that? This is you. You are this person here, and you are being rowed away from trouble, from strife, swords, conflict, strife, confrontation, difficulties, challenges, things that you can't overcome, things that you don't like, all right? This is you moving away from them. So it's like you are moving out of, you're sailing away from troubled waters is what I'm trying to verbalize. You're actually in the boat now and you're moving away from those troubled times. So you can put the trouble behind you and look out over the horizon, because if you look, this guy is looking over here and the water is calm and there is a new land that he's heading towards, and it's a better place. So you're on your way to a better place. So this is like if you've been having difficulty with other people, with situations, if it's been a very tense time for you, if things have just been rubbing you up the wrong way, you can put those feelings to one side and just enjoy the fact that now you're moving to a better place. The troubles are behind you. Now, this card can also mean travel overseas, because remember, we're doing one card readings and one card can have many different meanings, and it depends on the context where it is in a big spread with other cards as to how you would hone in on that meaning. So when I'm just picking up one card, it would be wrong of me to say, oh, it's this or it's this, because it's very difficult to tell. So this could also be here I am reading the chat again. I must not do that. Kelsey told me not to do that. So it can, see, now I've lost my place again. It can also mean travel overseas. So if you've been thinking about traveling overseas or waiting for news of something overseas, then this is a card that can also signal that. So do let me know how that resonates with you, or if it resonates with you. I would like to hear that. We're going to go for number 12. Number 12, interestingly, you've got the devil reversed. How interesting that that has come out there. This card is, the devil reversed is a great card because it means that you are letting go of the ties that bind. You're moving away from feeling chained to something. Now, it can be addictions, it can be toxic relationships, it can also be prisons that we make for ourselves, sort of, you know, like false beliefs and false expectations of ourselves, or if we're asking too much of ourselves. It's that sort of letting go, the chains. If you have a look at the illustration on here, under the devil card, you've got this nasty big horned beast here, and then you have this couple, and they're chained to this block. Now, the symbolism here is the chains are actually loose around their necks, and what that means is that they could have walked away from this at any time, but they chose not to. They chose to remain chained to this addictive behavior or toxic situation. When this is reversed, it's like you're literally, your chains are being shaken. You're being chucked away from this situation. And very much like your Six of Swords, it's time to go. It's time to leave this behind. It's time to let go of the ties that bind you to this negativity. And it's time to embrace positive things. This card can also be a card that comes up when somebody's in recovery. So if you're recovering from an addiction, whether that's you know, substances or alcohol, or just addicted to somebody or a certain behavior, or something like that. It can come up with that. It can also come up with divorce or separation from somebody who's a right pain to be with, because it's like you're no longer chained to them. So it's a really positive card. Although people associate the devil card with negativity, it really isn't, because it's about how you deal with the negativity of this card, especially when this is upside down. It's like, yay, get ye behind me, devil. It's time to go. Number 7. Number 7. Right, you have got the King of Swords reversed. The King of Swords reversed is a really tricky card. So the King of Swords reversed can be very disruptive. So this could be either you, or it could be somebody that you encounter today. So the King of Swords is somebody who can be quite emotionally abusive, verbally abusive. They can be quite sharp. So it's somebody who can put you down, like intellectually. They can be really clever, but it's that kind of cleverness that, you know, when someone's clever, but they use it to like belittle somebody, or they use it to get their own way, to manipulate situations. That's the King of Swords reversed. He isn't a very nice chap at times. So if this is you, it's a card that's saying, like, be careful how you treat people today, because this is a transient card. It's not going to be like this all the time. It's just a passing phase. So it could be that you've literally got out of bed on the wrong side, or maybe you're a Casa bear with a sore head, and it's just like a passing phase for you. Maybe you're feeling ratty, like a bear with a sore head this morning, and this is just a reminder not to take it out on those around you. Or perhaps there's some circumstances which are making you feel like, you know, you just want to lash out at people, but just try not to today. I know that's easier said than done, isn't it? But I think, as we always say, forewarned is forearmed with the tarot. And that's a lot of the reasons why we use the tarot. It's like, sometimes you'll see something and it's like it's happening anyway, but if you know about it, it gives you that insight so that you can check yourself. Make sure that you're not the person who flies off the handle. Make sure that by the end of today, you're not sitting thinking, gee, you know, I really shouldn't have said that to that person, or I really shouldn't have treated that person like that, because, you know, I feel like I was a bit out of order. So make sure that you're not that person. Now, on the other side of the coin, of course, this could be somebody that you come across. And if it is, then you're not in for a treat today, because this is a person that you really don't want to encounter, because they can be sharp, abrasive, all the things that I've just talked about when I was talking about, is it you? If you encounter this person today, you're going to know about it, because you'll feel the sword-like sharpness of their tongue. So if you have, for example, a meeting planned with a masculine energy, a man or somebody who has a masculine energy, then be wary of them, because it could be that they are having this reversed King of Swords energy around them today. So watch out for that sharp tongue. Now, swords is also, if we're looking at astrology, swords is also air. So it could be a man who is a Libra or an Aquarius or a Gemini, which are the air signs as well. So that's another interpretation. Sorry, I'm putting another layer on there as well. But I mean, take from that as you will, but it's sort of look out for that particular person. And if they're an air sign, it identifies them even further. So the King of Swords reversed, not a great card that we want to see, but it doesn't mean to say that something is personally befalling you. It just means watch out for this King of Swords dude. Number 8. Yes, number 8. Right, number 8, you have the Nine of Swords. Now, this card indicates stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, worry, a little bit of depression, a little bit of feeling hopeless, a little bit of feeling like things aren't going to change, a little bit of feeling like you can feel really negative when you're under the influence of this card, when you're under the influence of this energy, I should say. The card is simply a piece of paper. It's the energy it represents that's important. So when you're under the influence of this energy, it feels like the world can feel like a bit of a dark place. If you look at the illustration here, it's somebody who's lying in bed and they've got their head in their hands and they're like, I can't even sleep because of the nightmares. They can't get any rest from it. It's like there's no respite from these feelings. But the good thing with this card, because there is a positive to even the most negative of cards, and the positive with this card is that it's a number 9. And when a card is a 9 or a 10 or even an 8, it's like the end of a situation. So it's like this situation has come to a head. It feels like the stress has reached fever pitch and it feels like it's tailing off now. So you can expect to move to a better place, and for this stress to be resolved now. So the 9 of swords can also mean that you're being held back a little bit by fear and negative thinking. And it's not surprising, because when you get this card, it's often that it's like one thing after the other after the other after the other has happened, and it's like you end up feeling like beaten down by it. So you end up in a bit of a negative mindset, and you know what happens when you're in a negative mindset. It's like it seems to get more and more and more negative because you're expecting the worst, and so the worst tends to happen. So first of all, take note that you are at the end of this cycle, so you're moving away from that, and then do whatever you can to change that mindset and to convince yourself that there are better days on the horizon for you, because there certainly are, because this card coming up always signifies that it's behind you. It is passing. It just means you've got to push forward a little bit more, and you will come out the other side of the 9 of Swords energy. Number 9. Number 9. Okay, so I've got, strangely enough, the 3 of Swords reversed. So the 3 of Swords reversed is about moving away. Again, we're moving away here. So we're looking at six of swords energy again here. It's moving away from heartbreak. You're moving away from a period where you felt like the 3 of Swords energy can feel like the end of the world. It feels like you're confused, you don't trust people, somebody's hurt you. But when this card is reversed, it's like you're moving away from that time. It's now behind you. And because it's a 3, a 1 and a 2 are like the beginning. A 3, like when you put 2 cells together and they do what they do and divide and they make 3, or a male and a female creature and they do their thing and they make a baby. It's like 3s are change, 3s are progress and creating something. So although the 3 of Swords indicates heartbreak and upset, it also signifies a new thing, and that new thing is a new path away from the heartbreak of the 3 of Swords, and that's particularly true when it's in its reversed aspect. So this card invites you to put this heartbreak, put this toxic period behind you. You don't need to dwell in that place anymore. You don't need to live in that broken heart. You don't need to live in the past. You don't need to constantly go back to that in your mind. You don't need to be chained to it. It's like you have to let go. You have to let go and put it to bed in order to move forward. So it's a card that's what's the word that I'm looking for when it's freeing? Is freeing a word? I can't remember what the word is. It's freeing. I'm going to use freeing. It's a card that is about freeing yourself from those ties that bind. Again, reverse devil, ties that bind. It's cutting the cords. It's moving on. You are in the position to do this, and a better future awaits. And that's always the case with the 3 of Swords reversed. It's like telling you, you've spent enough time in the dark. Step forward into the light. Number 10. Number 10, you have got the Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Wands reversed can be, it's somebody who is being, so if this is you, you're not being honest with yourself about something. The black cat on the Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles card here, I can see the light shining on this card. I'm trying to get it in the right place. The black cat here is symbolic of your intuition, your inner self. And the Queen of Pentacles looks at the black cat. It's so hard to do this because I've got a mirror image. So she looks that way. She looks down. No, she looks, oh, I can't do it. She's looking down at her black cat because she's looking to her intuition. When this is upside down, it means that you're not looking inside for those answers. You're deceiving yourself. You're not being true to yourself. You are continuing on a path that you know isn't working, but you're ignoring that inner voice. You're ignoring your black cat. You're not listening to it, and you're continuing down the path regardless of that inner voice actually meow, 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 telling you that it's wrong. So you're invited to actually listen to your inner voice and to make sure that you don't continue down the path that you're continuing on because you know in your heart that it's not right. So that is the interpretation of this card if this is you. If this is somebody else, if this is, remember when it's a court card, it's you or it's somebody you come across today. And I say today because whenever I do these readings, I always ask the cards or ask the energies to show me the next 24 hours or so. If this is somebody that you come across in the next 24 hours or so, this is somebody who could be out to deceive you. It could also be somebody who's jealous, okay? So this card, if it applies to somebody else, it can be somebody who's deceiving you from a place of jealousy. So, you know, that person that goes, nah, I don't think you should wear that skirt because it doesn't suit you. When in actual fact, you look like hot in it and they don't want you to wear it because it's making them feel lesser. I know that's a really literal and shallow example, but it's that kind of energy, that kind of deceitful. This person will be out for themselves and not giving you the best advice from a good place in their heart. It would be false advice and false something with a different agenda. You know, they have their own agenda and it's quite possible that it's coming from a place of jealousy. So how that resonates with you, do let me know. So it can either be you who's deceiving yourself and you're being reminded to look to your black cat, your inner voice, listen and make changes to a path that you're taking. Or if this is somebody around you who's acting from a place of jealousy, don't listen to them, okay? Identify who they are and ignore them, or even better, move away from them. Not physically, you don't have to move physically, just move away from them spiritually and mentally and emotionally. Finally, we have card number 11, and that is the Three of Cups reversed. The Three of Cups reversed is like, it can indicate overindulgence. So it's often a card that comes up if you've been burning the candle at both ends, or if you've been overindulging, if you've been drinking too much, or taking whatever it is that you take too much, or it doesn't have to be a substance or a drink. It could be that you are putting too much energy into somebody and not getting it back, because that's an overindulgence of energy. And tarot doesn't really differentiate when it's talking about overindulgence. It's not necessarily meaning that literal, okay, or it's drink, or it's drugs, or it's shopping, or it's whatever it is. It's food. It's not necessarily that. It can be an emotional overindulgence. So this is a card that invites you to redress the balance. If it is food or drink or substance or whatever it is, then have a really good think about redressing the balance and addressing your physical health. But if this is emotional, if you've been putting too much energy into something, it's time to withdraw that energy, recoup your energies, regain your Three of Cups, pure sovereign energy, which is, you see these three lovely ladies are dancing around with their cups in the air because they're celebrating life. They're filled with energy, they're filled with joy, and they're happy together. Now, this card can also be, it talks about overindulgence, but it also talks about the end of celebrations. So the alternative meaning for this could be, can also be the fact that you might be feeling that a period of celebration is coming to an end, or it can mean like literally that the party's over or that you're no longer part of a group of friends. So it's a little bit of a, it can have a little bit of a twinge of sadness as well, this card. So again, I'm giving you multiple meanings because there are multiple meanings to this card. So however that resonates with you, please let me know. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then don't say anything. No, I'm joking. Say that as well. Right, fabulous. That was my last card. I shall put them there, and now I shall have a look in the chat and see if I've got, excuse me, any questions that I need to answer. It's really hard actually on this screen to see the chat, harder than it was on the original thing. Which was the just the YouTube live thing I was using. Right, I can't see any questions. Okay, it's probably easier for me to say, are there any questions that you want me to ask? I should start asking people just to type them in at the end, shouldn't I? And then it means that I don't have to like squint away like this or try and find my glasses to see the screen. So if there's no questions, then I think I can call that a wrap for the day. And then I can go and play with my new software and get all excited about it, even more excited than I already am. So thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the Sean Atwood crew and Ron crew for being here. As always, you are fantastic and you've made this all possible for me. And a special shout out to Gav today for finding this software for me and also being an enormous help. And Kaza, I don't know what the lottery numbers would be, and I wish I did because I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. I would be planning my escape. Thank you for being with me. It's been wonderful to talk to you. Have